Hey, what's up YouTube? How you doing? Welcome back. It's been about 6 months since I last uploaded a video, which is bad. I know. Tell me about it. But we're here today doing our Premier League predictions. It's August 4th, so there's still time obviously in a transfer window for teams to sign players and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, the predictions are as of now, and things, may change depending on signings, and we'll get into that as we go. But it's a kind of video I enjoy doing every season, just like my predictions of what you guys think about it, what your predictions are as well, where you guys think who's going to win, who's going to get relegated, everything in between. So yeah, don't be afraid to let me know in the comments below if you agree with me, if you disagree. There's probably going to be a little bias in there somewhere, because I'm a Chelsea fan, so I'm sure you can imagine where this is going. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Right, so as you can see, we're using a tier list to do our predictions. I'll link it in the description if you guys want to do your own. Take a picture, send it to me on Twitter or Discord or something, do your thing. But let's get straight into it. I feel like we should do relegated first. So we'll go from bottom to top. Does that make sense? I think that'll be a good way to do it. And who I believe is going to be bottom of the Premier League. Last place. Sunderland, my dudes. Unfortunately, yeah, Sunderland. Oh, I know, it's a shame. I don't think they're gonna have it, unfortunately. It's a typical theme recently with the promoted sides. They're probably going to go back down. And it's difficult for any promoted side to stay up and avoid relegation, but I feel like Sunderland, someone's got to be last. And I believe it might be them. Next up, I'm afraid it's going to be Burnley. Same story to Sunderland. Someone's got to go down. Someone's got to be 19th. And I believe it'll be them. I think they'll be competitive. They've got some decent players there. They were very good last season in Championship, conceding so few goals. If they can do a similar story in the Premier League, they might better their chances, but obviously it's a whole different ballgame, Premier League compared to the Championship, so I'm not sure they'll do that, which is why I think they'll get relegated. And next up, who I think is going to be 18th is Brentford, my dudes. Yeah, there you go. They're getting picked apart, mate. They've lost so many players and lost their manager as well. They're getting picked apart, Brentford, and because of that, I don't really see them doing very well. Yeah, it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. If I was a Brentford fan, I'd be shaking right now. Legit. And to just scrape through and avoid relegation is Leeds. I reckon Leeds do it. I back them. I back Leeds. They're a big club, big Premier League side, and I feel like it's too easy to predict that all the 3 promoted teams going up will go straight back down again. So I'm trying to be a little bit different and try and think outside the box. And the way Brentford's transfer window has been so far, their summer window, it's not been good. So I'm kind of a bit scared for them. Now for 16th place, I'm going to go Wolves. I believe, they're losing their best player in Matheus Cunha to Man U, and I feel like they're not ever going to replace him. Top player and missing a lot of goals with him. They might, do decently. I mean, I think for Wolves, I'm assuming they'd be quite happy with that, considering they've not had the most inspiring transfer window, but, they were flirting with it last season with relegation and stuff, and obviously climbed out of it eventually. But, yeah, they've lost a few goals in Matheus Cunha. Are they going to replace those goals? I don't know. But yeah, it'll be tough for them, but I think they'll still stay up in the Premier League. Now, next up in 15th, I'm going to go West Ham. I feel like with Graham Potter, they got a decent manager there. He's okay, but I don't think they're going to get anywhere in the top half of the table. Yeah, I don't know. They got a decent squad. Selling Kudus is a big loss for them, but I feel like they're going to build to it, hopefully, with him, Graham Potter, being there maybe for a few more years, and he might build something eventually, but I feel like he's in that process right now. It's his first transfer window he's had, so I don't think he's going to have much of a chance at the beginning of the year. But I think as the year goes on, maybe in January, they might sign some more players kind of thing. They might back him more. But yeah, it'll be a similar season to last, where they obviously avoid relegation, but they might not get top half of the table. Now, next up in 14th, I'm going to go Fulham. All right, I think Fulham with Marco Silva got a great manager there, top tier, but like, what have they done? In the transfer window? I'm not sure. So it's like not really an inspiring one for them, but solid team, great manager. I feel like they'll be enough to get over the line. They've kept a few players that they needed. Anthony Robertson and left back for one. He's a good player, and I feel like they got their core there, and it'll continue on from last year. And closing up the lower mid-table, I feel like Everton. There you go. They've made some inspiring signings recently. I mean, today, as of recording this, they signed Dewsbury Hall from Chelsea for 25 million, who I believe is a very good player, and I think will really suit Everton. But in their new stadium as well, I feel like 13th for Everton, it's not too bad. It's not too bad, but you look at the rest of the teams available, I don't think they're better than any of them currently. They could be, you know what I mean? Like, they could be. They're on the way, making some big moves, signing some key players. And getting rid of some players too, like Calvert-Lewin, for example. Getting rid of him was a big W, so I feel like they could have a good season, Everton. Now, we're on to the mid-table, it says. And 12th place, I'm going to go Crystal Palace. This is basically reliant on if they keep Eze. And it seems like they will, most likely. I'm not sure. I have no idea. Like I said, as of recording this on the 4th of August, they've got him still. Obviously, things can change. There's still a few weeks of a transfer window remaining, so you never know. But if they keep Eze, Crystal Palace, in their usual fashion, will finish in 12th. I don't think they'll get much higher, but I don't think they'll go much lower either. It seems like a pretty solid position for them. But yeah, Jean-Philippe Mateta, that Sarr on the wing, and obviously Eze as well. And they got, is it Wharton in the midfield? Great team. Obviously, Guehi at the back, Dean Henderson in the goalkeepers. Well, yeah, they got some decent players out there. And I feel like, obviously, trying to scope out the Conference League as well. If they got the squad to do 2 games a week, I don't know. But obviously, you know, I feel like they're capable of getting 12th, despite 2 games a week. So I believe in them. 11th place, probably much to the annoyance of Palace fans, is Brighton. The Seagulls, mate. I feel like, yeah, top team. Top team. 11th, though, you know, maybe a bit low for them, but they usually do go under the radar, may creep up higher, who knows, but trying to bridge that gap from being a mid-table team to, you know, pushing for European spots is a big gap. It's a big bridge to cross. And I don't think they're going to do it, but that'll be a mid-table, easy. Now, smack bang in the middle in 10th place, we're going to go Bournemouth. There you go. They've lost a few players, mainly their defenders. Is it Zabani and Dean Huijsen to Real Madrid and to PSG? So the core of their team, obviously Kepa went back to Chelsea, went to Arsenal after that. So they've lost a bit of their, you know, structure at the back. They may replace them, may do better players, who knows? But yeah, with that in mind, I don't think they're going to get any higher than 10th. Obviously, still got some great players, still kept a few good players as well. The manager is very good as well, so I back them to do well, Bournemouth. But I don't really see them pushing for Europe or anything higher than that. Now, we're into the top 10. All right, we're into the top 10. Here we go. This is number 9. We're going Forest. All right. I know they cooked last year, and I got a bit unlucky towards the end of the season, but I don't think they're going to be anywhere near the level they were last year. It's unfortunate for them. Obviously, they almost got Champions League, failed on the last day. It is what it is, but yeah, I don't know if they're going to be pushing for Europe. They have 2 games a week now, obviously being in Conference League, I believe, so it'll be tough. You know, the squad is not quite there. They've got obviously a great manager and a great 11. But obviously losing Alanga is not ideal. But have they replaced him? I'm not sure. We'll see, we'll see. But they still got the core group there, the core team. I don't know if they've really got it again in them to like continue playing the same way with having less possession and counter-attacking. Can they really do that again for a second time without getting caught out? I don't know. I'm not so sure. But I think a top 10 finish for Forest will be very good for them. Maybe pushing Europe if things go their way, but we'll see. And closing out the mid-table section, I'm going to go Newcastle. Yeah, I think they may even be a little bit lower. It depends on a certain number 9 in their team, Isak. If he stays, I believe they'll be quite solidly 8th, but also they've lost a few players. They've not made many signings. It's not looking good up in Newcastle. So, and obviously managing, like, you know, Champions League and things as well. 2 games per week. It's a big schedule for, you know, any team. Let alone Newcastle have sold a few players, not signed many. Squad's depleting as it is. And if they sell Isak, potentially bring in Sesko, is he going to do the business compared to Isak? Most likely not. But yeah, it's yet to be seen, yet to be determined. But I just feel like they're going to struggle. I can't lie. They could even finish lower. Like I said about, you know, Palace, if things go well for them, Brighton as well, they may jump Newcastle. I don't know, I kind of fear for Newcastle a little bit. But obviously Eddie Howe's a great manager. The core team is still there. It's just when it gets to, like, you know, February, March, and they've played like 40 games already, considering they've got, you know, 4 competitions. Are they going to be able to keep going for the latter stage of the season? Are they going to drop off like Forest did towards the end of last season as well? I don't know. I don't know. Have they got it in them? Maybe. Now look at these teams down here. We've got remaining. We've got Arsenal, Villa, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, Spurs, and Man U. Yeah, completing our top 7, huh? But in which order? Let's go. In the Conference League spot, I'm going to go Villa. I'm going to go Villa. They've been bound by the PSR, FFP, grinding them down, I tell you. It's a shame. You hate to see it, but yeah, they still got a great manager, Unai Emery, and still got a great team. It seems like they're keeping Ollie Watkins. If they do, they'll be much better for it. But yeah, I don't see they're going to get much higher than that because, like, the lack of signings, the lack of, you know, strict binds of PSR and all that, they're not able to. But they still got a great team, still got the core team there, kept a few very good players. But yeah, are they going to be able to push beyond that? I'm not sure. But Conference League, maybe pushing Europa League. It depends how a certain Manchester United go on, you know what I mean? But I do back them. But yeah, to me, I'm putting Man U in 6th purely because of the 1 game per week factor. I feel like it will really benefit them. And I think it will give a chance for Amorim to get his ideas across. They've had a whole summer with him though. You know, still trying to get some players out as of recording this, but they've brought some good players in, and Buemo and Obviously, Mateus Cunha we mentioned earlier. So I feel like, you know, there's some players they need, some goals in the team that add into it. And I feel like if they keep their team fit and no like crazy injuries they've had in the past, so I feel like they got a chance. They got a chance. But no higher. Like, let's not get crazy here. Man U aren't pushing for Champions League. At best, they'll get Europa League. The top 4 spots are basically written already. I'm sure you guys know who's in there. And next up to complete Europa League spot is Spurs. They're going to be 5th. I think they'll just miss out on Champions League. Maybe on the last day of the season. There's a prediction for you. But yeah, I think they'll be top tier. Spurs, I can't lie. Thomas Frank, I like him. Good manager. Made some good signings. Spurs as well. As of recording this, like I said, the 4th of August, they did just lose James Maddison to injury. It seems like a bad one as well, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I feel like Spurs will do well. Made some good signings. Good manager. I feel like the team is there as well. Defense is great. Goalkeeper's decent. Midfield is pretty strong. If they avoid crazy injuries like last year when they had like basically the whole defense out and played a bunch of midfielders in defense and still ended up with a trophy, if they could keep that core available, I feel like they got a chance. I hate to say it being a Chelsea fan, but Spurs are looking promising. They might make some moves. Obviously, the new manager kind of bounced. We'll see how it goes. There's a chance, but no higher than 5th. All right, now for the fun bit, however, top 4. Here we go. In 4th place, Man City. Yeah, I don't know about them. I can't lie. They're going to be top 4 because it's Man City, right? But it's a lot of unknowns. You know what I mean? They've lost a few players, lost a big player in KDB as well. And I feel like a lot of their squad is aging to a point where it's like irreversible age. You know, Gundogan and Bernardo Silva, these kind of guys. They're not really on the best prime of their career. Still good players, don't get me wrong. And the new signings they made, you know what I mean? I don't know. Are they going to hit the ground running? Are they going to be unreal? I don't know. That's a bit of an unknown. Like, they could easily win the league. Like, Man City could be champions and it wouldn't really be too crazy. You know what I mean? But they could also be 4th. And I'm kind of thinking they're going to be 4th. I'm not sure if their new signings are going to hit the ground running. Doku, I don't know about him. He's not new, but he's been there a while and he's not really doing it. Savinho, similar again. He's not really done it. Have they got enough goals in the team, other than Haaland, of course? Obviously, Haaland's guaranteed 20 plus Premier League goals minimum. You know, but that's why I think they'll be 4th, because of him. But is their defense strong enough? You know, it wasn't really great last season. Yeah, I may have had a stinker with that one and they win the league, then GG, but I don't know, man. I don't see it. Now, next up in 3rd place, Arsenal. Yeah, Arsenal. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. They didn't finish 2nd. I don't think they'll finish 2nd this year. That's reserved for somebody else. We'll get to that in a minute. But, yeah, I don't know. Again, similar to Man City. They made a few signings, some good signings. I like Zubimendi. Good player. Is Jokeres going to score the kind of goals he scored in the Portuguese league? Probably not. Arsenal have played without a striker for like God knows how long. And now they've got a striker in the team which everybody thinks they need. Are they going to be able to play with one while playing, because they played without one for so long? They're going to be used to it, you know what I mean? I've said I mentioned it in previous videos. I believe Arteta is a specialist in failure. I can't lie. I think if any other manager in the world, or not any, but any top tier manager available goes to Arsenal, I feel like we do a much better job. I feel like the reason Arsenal were constantly 2nd, constantly just the bridesmaid, constantly falling away, it's because of Arteta, bro. I can't lie. I don't think he's him. But anyway, last but not least, here we go. We've got 2 teams remaining. We've got Chelsea, we've got Liverpool. One of them's 2nd, one of them's champions. It's heavily biased, my dudes. I'm going Liverpool 2nd, mate. Yeah, Liverpool 2nd, just missing out as Chelsea win the league, mate. Yeah, there it is. GG's, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming through. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Appreciate the support. Let's go. We're back on my YouTube. But yeah, Chelsea win the league. Incredible. They've got the one thing they needed, Chelsea, for the longest time. And that's a striker. And they got 2 of them. All right. They've been very good for a little while, Chelsea. Last season especially. Obviously missed out. Dropped the ball eventually. But on their day, Chelsea, they can beat anyone. And they've got the minerals and they're backing to do so now. Getting some players out, bringing some big players in, filling some gaps that were there, aka striker. Obviously the goalkeeper situation people talk about a lot. But I feel like with confidence, Sanchez will get there. They're going to play through it. They're going to keep him number 1. And Robert Sanchez, I feel like will prove a lot of people wrong. And with Liverpool, similar story to Man City. I feel like they made a lot of changes, a lot of new signings, and I feel like they're good signings, but I don't know if they're going to like hit the ground running completely. Again, it depends on Isak, like I said about Newcastle. If Newcastle sell Isak to Liverpool, then I believe we switch. I feel like Liverpool win the league, Chelsea finish 2nd, just because of Isak. Like, Isak is that good of a striker, he's that good of a player. He'll change that Liverpool team completely. From like, you know, a lot of people would predict Liverpool champions right today. But if they were to sign Isak, it's pretty much a done deal. I can admit that as a Chelsea fan. Like, I'm pretty sure most clubs and most teams would admit that with Isak, lead him in line for Liverpool alongside Salah, alongside Wirtz, alongside, you know, Szoboszlai and McAllister, Van Dijk at the back, and Alisson, of course. I feel like with that core and a spine they've got, adding Isak, who's obviously Premier League proven, great striker, to that team, it's the done deal. It's GG. But if they don't sign Isak, it's switched. Yeah, there you go. Done. Look at that. Happy days, mate. Happy days. But yeah, that's going to do it from me. Thank you as always for watching. Appreciate your support. Have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you on the next video in a bit.